Absolutely ideal in my mind to kick off this season right where season 4 ended. Also though, My Hero Academia.
エンデバーの容体は？
ああ、命に別状はないそうだ。
そっか、よかった。
おい、チャイムはとっくに。
It's genuinely difficult for me now not to hear Yami's voice when seeing Eraserhead, but the voice actor is a massive win where I come from, that being Win Country. Also, ladies and gents, don't forget to hammer fist that subscribe button and get the bell icon into a rear naked choke till it submits to ensure you don't miss out on the second half and so much greatness coming soon.
お前らはもう公にヒーロー活動ができる資格と責任を与えられている。そのことを忘れるな。
Not gonna lie, it feels like such a big progression in the overall story to hear this. For so long, it felt like they were sheltered kids having to abide by overly strict hero rules, and now they're free to act to a huge degree. Just feels like a big step forwards as a whole.
さて、今日のホームルームだが。
ヒーロー界1年 A 組出動だ。
I like this as well. I feel like just a season or two ago they'd have been panicking like crazy, and yet here they are, calm, cool and collected and ready to act. This replacement of All Might by the new #1 hero of the story. Momo being in this anime will never cease to be a win. Whilst it's not my favourite OP ever, it's pretty good. It hits the needed points. It's got animation and quite a lot of it to its credit, and the song is alright. Probably one that'll take a minute to grow on me, but take your win regardless. It's certainly great enough for a win, and if only for an oh gosh bless his heart All Might in the middle. Dropping a win here for the helpful reminder of everyone's quirks and current levels that they have those quirks at. Whilst I get that it can be irritating to some anime veterans, it's important to keep in mind the reach that this anime has and the wide audience it achieves, and so reminders like this can be helpful. God, I love Lemillion so much! I've given Minato so much stick in the past, and in many cases rightly so on the Anime Sins versions, but it's good to see that in Season 5 they're kicking off by showcasing everyone using their quirk, including him. I love this song. Massive shout out to My Hero Academia's outstanding soundtrack as a whole. Love it! The fact that she's still in this anime equals a massive win. Really nice showcasing of this anime's animation and also her quirk and how it compares to someone as strong as Todoroki. That's really good to have him repeat pretty much the same thing second time around. I didn't expect that one. Finally, at long last, we see more from this girl and her quirk. I'd wager that out of everyone, she has to be the least explored in that regard, so finally getting some update on her abilities is a massive win for me. Just some beautiful and smooth animation quality right there. Deku and his kind heart shining through as usual, but then Multi-Animal San finding a source of confidence in his training of his younger fellow students, in that you need to follow through and be prepared for anything. It's a good lesson he's teaching here. That! These boys turning up to the action in a frigging car can't go without getting a win, surely!
帰ればよかった。
Bakugo still being Bakugo and with extreme prejudice no less.
さよならさえかなくちゃ僕よ僕になれと叫ぶ
Not gonna lie, I'd have personally stuck this song in for the OP. It really slaps, you feel me? I dig that, really good song, and obviously the visuals were just super pleasing and relaxing to my eyes. In fact, both the OP and the ED have got this vibe, and it's got me thinking that something extremely the opposite will be predominant during the second half of Season 5 as a result of this.
オールマイトとポーズ同じじゃないですか。
Brilliant similarity here between everything All Might went through and what he's now going through. This having to prop up your number one hero in an effort to create a more stable image for society than really exists. I think that's such a clever thing to carry on through to his tenure as it were on top.
いろいろ想定外なんだが。
Then after everything I just wrote, this happened! He was seen at his weakest. Oh my god, this is terrible and brilliant at the same time.
エンデバー。
I felt like this horror-styled vibe right there was a real teaser for the future. It's like that bit of music and his sudden awakening was like exiting a nightmare. Gave me real chills, man.
よう。遅かったな。
What?!
ヴィラン連合旅
Just saying, Endeavor looks incredibly awesome right here.
が勝てるはずねえだろ。満身創痍のトップ2相手によ。
That really hot woman just leapt in, my heart aches through love!
死ぬんじゃねえぞ。轟エンジ。
今話してくれ。
Damn man, the villains are getting so creative with their techniques such as this escape ability. God, I love this anime, it's just so good!
とりあえず一見落着っぽいですね。
いやこれは始まりだ。
Then this little teaser for the future. It's got me really thinking that the students are going to soon be up against it in a big way. It's actually why I'm looking forward to some respite, training and character building during this first half of the season.
嘘つきと丸腰で会うわけにはいかなかったからな。予定じゃ明日海沿いの工場だったはずだ。
You know what? Take 2 wins for this right here. I never would have thought that he was the traitor all along and it's been teased for ages. I just love that build up. I mean, come on man, this was mentioned back I think at the end of season 1. I'm blown away. I really liked this guy and this is such an epic level twist. Take those 2 wins with my shocked gratitude in tow.
ヴィラン連合に取り入れホークス。
は？ちょっと待ってください。
You got... Hold the metaphorical phone just one gosh darn moment. Okay, you really got me right there. Hats off to you. I'm shocked. Sticking in a genuinely fantastic reason as to why they asked him, so that it's not just because it would shock us the viewer the most, but because it actually made sense to use him for reasons fleshed out during the end of the 4th season too. Genuinely beautiful Sinrusha.
ああ、あいつか、スナッチ。
遺族の気持ちを。
考えすぎてイカれたよ。
Very minor, but very intriguing no less plot twist of concern and worry.
思い上がるな。俺の怪我は俺の責任だ。
Oh, I know a lot of people hate him, but I love seeing the dude out and about in normal clothes. That's so cool!
まあ、ノームの噂自体がヒーロー狩りの蒔絵って可能性ありますね。
Actually thinking about how he would carry his luggage up these stairs and so doing this. Dedication! Getting 20 seconds of some sweet baby Hawks related backstory goodness.
お疲れ。
久しぶりだな。
とりあえず大仕事お疲れ様でしたってことでね。
Not gonna lie, I'm loving every single second of this scene right here. Plus his sister is a sweetheart, no denying that either.
俺の中じゃイカレ野郎絶賛継続中だよ。変わったようで全然変わってない。
すごいやつだ。夏兄の言ったことはその通りだと思うし、お前がお母さんにしてきたこと、まだ許せてね。
Absolutely amazing to have a scene like this, so that it's not so one-sided in everyone forgiving him for his rough past. I always thought it seemed like it could have been potentially rushed, but this alleviates all of my fears from season 4, because he's not easily forgiven, as he shouldn't be, so this scene is ideal.
嬉しかったのお姉さんは。超
God, she's so cute. She gets her own standalone win for cuteness in the first degree. It should be illegal. I know I kind of brushed on this earlier on in this video, but I'm going to go at it again a little bit. I cannot tell you how different I feel this aspect to the anime is. When it started with an All Might faking every day in order to fool the world into believing that he was the unfaltering pillar of peace while slowly fading away. That was an element that appealed to me so much because I'd never witnessed anything like it, and the extreme levels of anxiety that it brought up inside of me. Now we have Endeavour, and yet the mangaka and animators have managed to do the same thing yet again without making it feel like it's a copy and paste, and I'm genuinely so very impressed by it.
いや、それよりも明瞭なOne for All の面影。
Cannot tell you how insanely hyped I am to witness this view. I legit went a little crazy at the end of my season 4 video when it was showed and probably watched it back a dozen times to get a good view of them all, and now we're getting a proper decent look, but still not at everyone. It's killing me!
愚かで可愛い弟よ。なぜ抗うんだ。
この声。
なのに彼は怪物だ、病気だと迫害を受け、両親からも隔離されてしまった。夕暮れの仕事帰り、異能の集団に襲われたそうだ。頼みのスタンガンは無効化された上。
Stunning, man! Oh jeez, giving us such a different look at the world from how we've seen it, which has always been displayed as so black and white. But here is this massive grey area suddenly appearing before us that All for One lives in. I've always said this, villains being villains for the sake of villaination can be boring unless it's done right. But villains who are given a reason for doing the things they do is next level writing, especially when done well, like right here.
お前の言う世界とは何だ、弟よ。
Just throwing this out there too, but I'm such a big fan of this voice actor. He did such a great job in Vinland Saga as well. In fact, take a win here for all of the voice acting. It's always good in My Hero.
望むものを与えよう。僕に協力してくれるなら。
Not walking on the spot.
だから殺された。僕は何も命じていないんだぜ。僕を慕う多くの友人が僕を思い行動に移した。
Filling in the blanks of so much history that I've always wanted to know about. I'm so grateful for this and shocked at how it's come out of nowhere. I've been waiting for this since like season 2, I think.
魔王に支配された世界を正義のヒーローがもがき苦しみ、そして最後に救い出すんだ。
This being an awesome allegory for All Might and All for One eventually.
痩せ細ったお前にも扱いやすい異能を見つけたんだ。共に行こう。
やめろ！
And here now, I finally get the answer to a question I long ago asked myself. Why would he give his little brother this power? Now it makes sense. It was intended to keep him alive, because as evil as he is, he loved his only family, and even better than that, it was shown that he wanted nothing from his older brother, and we now know it was because he valued justice above everything else. How poetic that this action would come back around to bite him in the behind so many years later when taken out by All Might. That's some seriously amazing storytelling right there.
もう少し見せたかったけど、まだなんとか 20% なんだね。でも大丈夫。君は一人じゃない。
Then this last little bit, showing how potentially as Midoriya unlocks more of his power that he may be able to learn more of his past than the whole truth. I'm so intrigued it physically hurts. Ah!
リア君、何だったんだい？さっきの音は。
ヴィーナスを。
君まだ溜め込んでない？チーズが足りなかったのかな？
Adding in this bit from the end of season 4 just to show that this little storyline between them hadn't just up and finished out of the blue, but instead he still very much wants to be his friend. The fact that this food is genuinely making me hungry equals a win. My! Demon Slayer reference!
おっしょ、面影とは。
きっといろいろ溜め込んじまうんだよ。
God, I love me some All Might flashback scenes, even more so when it involves his hot teacher. Heck yes!
お母さんが？
髪型とか。
髪か。綺麗な人でした。
だろ？
Kawaii!
違うんだ。これは彼から強引に。
浮気現場みたいなノリやめてください。寒い。
This. That's so random. I don't dislike this!
さあ A 組、今日こそ白黒つけようか！
JoJo! And also, I find this guy's whole shtick utterly hilarious and always have. This quick rundown and reminder whom each of Class B's Classer!
ヒーロー化編入を希望してる普通科 C 組真相仁志君だ。
It just occurred to me how clever it is to bring him back into the anime in a big way right after Midoriya has come face to face with his predecessors in such an equally big way, since they aided him as seen here during season 2. That's awesome, as it also presents a mystery as pondered by Midoriya here. This awesome looking, hype building setup to which teams will be faced against which opposing teams. Hype!
発揮する A 組か、堅実に全体を底上げしている B 組か。楽しみだ。
感謝します。
早速か。いた。
左方向から塩崎さん。
Say it with me now. Being nice to animals is always a win. Using a ridiculous amount of frames to kick off the first attack of the first battle in epic style.
獅子田十郎太、個性、ビースト、獣化し、体格。
Yet another unique quirkだ!
よっしゃ蹴散らせ獅子だ
任されましたぞ
Bro, that's so friggin' legit! Take that win!
ただし、洗脳したものを喋らせることはできない。それと、頭を使わせるような命令は通らない。
Okay, so firstly, it's really clever to show different aspects to his quirk. I really love when the mangaka thinks outside of the box when creating things like this. But also, as always, I'm such a fan of improving quirks, such as the use of his mask. That to me is just the height of intelligence and creativity that I love so much.
俺の声で喋りやがった。
I adore this reaction from him, who was panicking and likely really didn't want to have to fight this giant beast dude right here. That's hilarious. If you've been a fan of the channel for a while, you'll probably have heard me praising one-shot sequences, and this is one such moment. Absolutely gorgeous attention to detail right there, smoothly gliding through the air. Also though, take another one here for Shinzo facing his first hurdle. It wouldn't make any sense if he suddenly became this badass machine taking out opponents. Instead, this is far more realistic and fits to his character's narrative of facing the odds and trying to overcome them to obtain his lofty goals. I love his character's over-the-top reactions. He's like the Attack on Titan Connie of My Hero Academia.
ひとモードですぞ再びした
See what I mean before? See what I mean? This is what I was referring to when I said you need such a creative mind, and that's a given with this mangaka, but he's also able to put it into a story, put him into a battle and against others, and then think about how he would use his unique quirk against theirs. It's incredible, and don't even get me started on naming them and giving them personalities too.
霧島君が捕まった。
とはいえ、熱井君も円葉君を捉えている。
Not making it incredibly one-sided, instead having it be very much unpredictable right off the bat. Like, right now I have no clue who is going to do well team-wise, and that's perfect for me. Give me that suspense, I love it!
我が教え子の猛撃がついに A 組は打ち砕くのか。
いいぞ僕らのブラキン先生。
健康実況やめろ。
That.
慣れ合う気ないとか言ってたけどさ、俺好きだぜ。しっかりヒーロー志望だ。
Oh man, how about some warning before you drop such a sweet scene on me?
我がマナ、バインの何よりって。
Great CGI.
クルセフィクション。フェイスズシールド。
This is legit!
Oh my goodness!
やっべ、思いついた。俺だけ捕まるってどう？
捕まる？
Showing some decent character growth here, as usually he has essentially bumbled through all of the classes and all of the things that have happened to the group as a whole, largely through good luck and being looked after, but here he's actually using his head.
そっちに一人いるのか？ おい喋れよ。いや口元見てりゃ安全だろが。
Goodness me, they are handling this first large battle beautifully. Really great animation and the hidden undertone of what makes success. For example, in this instance, their communication versus Class B's lack of said communication. It's really made all the difference.
イレイザーヘッド直伝。総爆。
Ah, that's so good, as he is learning that he'll need to adapt to become a hero with his quirk, and that if he can offset the quirk's downsides with physical upsides and creative thinking, then he'll be able to overcome that hurdle. Perfect!
後ろだ。後ろだ。ボクシング。ボケろ。
ごめんなさいね。
What? That was outstanding! What a brilliant turn of events! I cannot tell you how much I loved that! Hats off to the voice actor of the lad as well for that scream, and they're getting a maximum 2 wins for that. They can take a final win here for the end of this episode. I must admit, I was thrilled by this first battle, stunned by some of the artistic changes such as the slow motion attacks, and amazed by the placing of character building throughout, and it's nice to see Midoriya acknowledging Shinzo's efforts, and Asoi doing the same at the end.
それに比べてジャミングウェイのすっとんきょっぷりが浮いてる。
Nice touch showing her still half cracking up at his antics post-fight as he's used a lot of electricity and so is starting to turn into Saitama. Also nice touch showing how he's acting like that but at the same time still has his senses about him, showing how he's worked on his own quirk. Robot supremacy. The build-up to this battle and how once again personalities are set to clash based on prior events and their individual natures and quirks. I suppose one thing I'm enjoying is that it's not at all a series of battles for the sake of a series of battles, and I have no doubt the mere fact that they're doing this is going to culminate into something huge as well. But at the very least, it's clearly serving the purpose of team building and character building to a huge degree. A great example of improved quirks in action as Dark Shadow is able to be noticeably larger and further away from him and during the day of all times right here. But even better than that is how quirks can offset one another as the enemy from Class B is able to actually attack kind of inside of Dark Shadow, which is nuts. Okay, so 2 wins here. Firstly is this awesome change to the usual music, giving it a bit of a more darker tone, maybe a touch of intensity to win before losing it all kind of a vibe. The second win here is for yet more demonstrations of just stunning looking and smooth as holy heck animation. That's sick.
なるほど。宿敵。いいだろう。ホークスの元で編み出した技。
For some unknown reason, the hype for this scene rose by an unexpected 86% when he removed his cloak for I think maybe the first time ever possibly. That is in a fight, of course. I know I've been banging on about it a few times, but just once more. I'm really impressed, I must admit, at how so much character development is occurring. It can be tough to squeeze it in for so many people, but they're doing a wonderful job thus far. This moment just reminding me of how My Hero Academia can put together some genuinely lovely looking scenery shots.
ダークシャドウ黒の打天使
飛んでる。原理としては簡単だ。ダークシャドウは常に浮遊状態だから徳闇君を抱えて移動することも可能。
Yes, another unique use of an original quirkada! That's a new thing, but it fits, damn it! Always evolving the quirks! The mangaka is a mad genius or something! I'm sickened by this!
そこまでですわ。もう逃がさない。お嬢際が悪いぞ。キノコ。
Emergency fungi-related plot twist!
ホラーすぎんだろ。
彼女のキノコは 2,3 時間で全部消えるから後に引かないんだ。
Petal Goose being in this anime while also being the voice behind so many other legendary anime characters will never cease to be a win.
個性コミック漫画のコマに描かれる擬音オノマトペを具現化することができる。
Oh, come on, man, that's nothing if not unique. Am I right or am I wrong?
考える時間は与えない。
Showing Momo's growth in character and quirk by showcasing just how quickly she can now create super complex items, whereas before she was taken out in Season 2 insanely quickly because she had to take time to create a simple shield to use for defense.
今の私を見せなさい。ちょっと。
God damn, she's so awesome.
ラックランクサバト
俺の街灯だ。
海影捕まえたぜ
No joke, his quirk has grown on me so much since season 1. I think for me, it's become the most adaptable of all of them thus far. I mean, he's really taken it places, and it's been thrilling to witness its evolution. Plus, let's be real, it looks completely badass too. Well, they both do, I mean. His quirk is stupidly cute, get out of it!
また一歩近づいたな。君らが望む。
僕らが憧れる。
I think it was a good twist having Class A lose this second battle, but then making the focus be on learning from the experience and also at the same time focusing on how they've already gotten stronger, rather than it be the case where we just expect them to win every single battle.
第2試合は B 組の完勝だったね。
This guy is such a douche, but he's seriously funny to me.
私がしっとりきた。
オールマイト
God, he's so great!
菅うららか緑谷情報詳しいそうらしいって聞いただけだってば処分させんな
It would be the height of ridiculous if I didn't give this a win, especially with her breakdancing at the end. Oh man, who comes up with that?
てめえとやった時より強くなってんぞ俺
それは焦る。
爆豪少年なりに気を使ってくれてるのか。
何笑っとんだそういうのがマジでイラつくんだ
違うかな。
この技を習得しなければならない。俺から逃げるな。
This awful reminder of what Todoroki went through in the past under his father, once more nicely linking into a previous win about how his prior transgressions aren't just being forgotten about, but instead we're reminded of his worst side, which makes his transformation into a better person all the more prominent.
挑戦えさら地にするよなバカの考え
さっきの反省聞いとらんかったんか。
鉄向こうには轟いるんだぞキリシだやっぱり考えなしに生きてるじゃねえか
これはこれでやれることあるんじゃね
柔軟な思考会をするぞ
Oh, so much this! How can I not?
なんだ
助けてくれてありがとう
怪我はないか。
はい
気をつけて帰れよ。
Oh my word, we were in a school battle and now we're outside with Endeavor and stuff, what the hell?
でも視界遮っちゃう氷塊じゃないよ改良しとる
Just a small example of his change of approach. Todoroki remains the height of sickness with his amazing quirks, and, as pointed out, he's been able to improve upon it no less. Hype! I think this gets another unique quirkader. Man, that's clever to think up and highly versatile. Brilliant end to the episode. Ida has grown massively as well, and I'm always amazed by the different ways the mangaka finds for them to improve their quirk. I mean, it's gross, but pulling out his mufflers and allowing them to regrow stronger is nuts! Oh, hot damn! Pulling out some sick-ass looking animation right there, extremely reminiscent of Todoroki vs Midoriya during Season 2, and a lovely art style change to show off the speed he's travelling.
リーダーを放っとくのもまずいけど止められる気がしない
A few people hate it when I compare anime to JoJo, even if it's one sentence in a 50-minute long video, but hey, this reminds me a lot of the guy who could swim underground in Golden Wind. Just saying, and that nice memory is a win. That was freaking legit! You go, Ida!
轟を捉えて逃がさない
Amazingly tense to witness Todoroki on the ropes after so very much ass kicking over the past 4 seasons, with the occasional exception of course, but here is a fantastic example of how quirk matchups can make things really challenging no matter what your quirk is.
このまま気失うまでぶん殴れくそー歯食いしばれ引けどっちもっとなりたい俺になるために
They can take a maximum 2 wins right there. It might well be that music that I adore, but that was a hell of a scene so far, bringing that out from within himself, oddly with a painful memory of his father attempting to teach him it years ago, and then that final stance just looks so impressive to me. We finally saw a camera, something I had sinned on 2 occasions on the other version, and whilst removing those sins, I promised to win over here. So take that win with my thanks.
我慢比べを得意だぜさらに向かう訓練で弾かけねえやつは本番でもかけらんねえよ
Ugh, this fight is so insane, and I gotta say, I really like the Metal Dude too. He's got that same overpowering personality as Red Riot, moving forwards to achieve his goal with endurance and ferocity.
だから一気にプレゼン勝負つけろね
Rotating view and zoom out shot like it's no big deal whatsoever.
骨抜き
角取り返してもらうよ
The mangaka and animators truly deserve praise, especially the former for the incredible pacing and also how back and forth each battle is, with each side outdoing the other, only to then be outdone themselves. When you consider how difficult it is to write a story, create the characters, what's unique about them, their personalities, and here, quirks, and then introduce a versus kind of tournament such as this, and yet make it interesting and competitive. That must be incredibly difficult to achieve, even more so when you mix in everything else I've spoken about, such as character and world building at the same time. I'm deeply impressed and really saddened that a great many people have taken to bashing the anime because of this first half setup. I mean, come on, a 1 out of 10 on my anime list? You're not really a fan of anime if you're giving this a 1, that's all I'm saying. So credit to the mangaka and animators. It's been a long time since I've seen him develop in any kind of meaningful way, and he's one such character from Class A I felt it was at risk of being left behind, but that little attack there puts him back into the mix with that power, and it's good to see.
鉄溶けちゃうよ
やっべ意識が
Oh my goodness, I need a second to relax and breathe, man. First of all, let's get it out of the way. The animation is gorgeous on certain big moments, like hot damn that looked unreal. And then they keep on throwing out plot twists. That was 2 back-to-back plot twists, and I'm getting all turned around. Because of the animation and the double plot twist, that equals a double win. I can't not give it out for that.
今度は外さないぞマットマンあいつをまず助けろよ
迷子を見かけたら迷子センターへ手を引いてやれる
救助が先決鉄鉄これをせ
全員ダウンしかしまだ牢に入るまではリタイアにはならないぞ
So good, are you kidding me? Man, they fought to the very bitter end, giving absolutely everything that they had in order to achieve a win for their class. They're truly all becoming heroes before our very eyes, and that music is one of my favourites, so it's hard not to feel borderline emotional at a scene like that.
20分経過第3試合終了
Great end to the episode, absolutely loving this first half thus far. Some really decent character development in this one for both Todoroki and Ida, trying their best to live up to being the best future heroes that they can possibly be, and just some general lovely wholesomeness between these two as well.
そうかですな B 組もう一人の推薦入学者
Well, that's just a win, not much to it really.
A 組の一勝はほぼ真相のおかげ果たして互角と呼べるのかひどい言い方だぜブラド先生
His biased commentary is really getting more and more funny as it goes along. Even Bakugo is showing his growth as he works with others to win their match, whereas before, he really would just always go off and do his own thing pretty much every single time. A whole series of brand new and unique quirkers as Class B immediately puts A on the back foot, and is it me or is the green dude not super similar to Jack from Black Clover? Same name, same blades on his arms, and his group of magic knights are called the Mantis somethings. Oh, that was incredible! Bakugo saving them once and then her a second time in epic fashion! He's come so far and so has his quirk. That was brilliant! Oh, sorry. I can't not drop a win for that half-hearted with a kick. Oh my word, that was perfectly placed! Good on you, my hero! That was sick! I don't even know if it's the music or the fact that Bakugo has changed so much or a combination of both, but I'm like borderline emotional right here. It's a really great fight, yet another really great fight. Oh, still emotional, man. That animation though, that had to be shouted out. Stunning! Ugh. Amazing. Not much else to say, especially that kind of silent final attack making the impact feel greater. Amazing.
固めすぎて骨抜きのような柔軟さに欠けた。
みんなまでダサいことになっちゃって。
いや、この敗北を心に刻もうぜ。
It's a small thing, but I'm enjoying how every loss is handled by the losing team. It's not the end of the world, it's a learning experience, and it would be disappointing if the HQ was filled with more and more depressed people in between fights.
けど、モノマの力と合わせれば抑えることは可能だと思うよ。
つか、個性でコピーできないってこと。
These guys and their conversation was originally not going to end up equaling a win until the end, where it was mentioned that part of their plan was an attempt to copy One for All, a truly intriguing notion and one that has me more hyped for episode 10 than I've been for any previous episode yet.
お前頼りだぜ。大丈夫。絶対に勝てる。
Midoriya kind of throwing out a little edited version of All Might's one-liner in the past, and more importantly filling his female teammates with confidence after they begun to doubt themselves.
兵の確定と執行、急げないものかね。このままではこっちの身が持たん。
こいつの審判がどこにどれだけ潜伏していることか。
Strangest win of the video has to go to me getting to see more of this place behind the scenes, since before now it's been a cell and an interrogation/visiting room only.
いや、迷惑をかけてすまない。
そいつが私を見て言うんだよ。まだその時ではないと。
It's a small thing, but I adore that, and I very much hope to see more flashback sequences like this, because this is probably one of the earliest from where she was young, so maybe we can get more prior users of One for All. That'd be the height of amazing, and I'd legit freak out, so be warned!
困ったな。
Midoriya staying focused on his target, attacking multiple times without fear, and all the while using his brain to try and figure out what their goal is. My boy's growing up! So many unique standards! I mean, crocodiles! I just like saying standard, I'm not gonna lie.
ヴィランに捕まって平和の象徴を終わらせた張本人がさ。なんだ。逃げた。そうか。逃げて。
Emergency plot twist! Take cover! Also though, Midoriya looking out for both of his enemies as he knows he cannot control his quirk, just speaks to his kind and considerate hero-like nature. Oh my word, this is actually unreal! The power of One for All is outstanding and ferocious! I'm genuinely so shocked by this sudden twist. Now I'm dropping 2 wins. I never saw this coming a mile off. And what happens now? How freaking sweet is it that she leapt in like this to try and calm him down and save him?
その活動よりも周りの人々の表情に目がいった。人の喜ぶ顔が好きだった。余裕がなくても必死に困ってる人を助ける彼を見てきたから思う。ヒーローが辛い時、誰がヒーローを守ってあげられるだろう。
Such an outstandingly beautiful notion that she poses right there at the end. Who protects the heroes when they're hurting? That's a wonderful view of the world that she's got. She just flew up in my estimations like crazy with that.
Midoriya! 俺と戦おうぜ!
This is so good. It is so good. It's not even funny. There's not much else to write here. Let's just continue forwards carefully and give each other free hugs or something. I don't even know.
Mina! 違うんだよ。違う! 言ったさ.
I bloody well told you, didn't I? I told you that if I get to see another prior user of One for All, I'd freak out! I'm losing it over here! Take a few steps back!
夢でもないこの人はこの人たちはワン・フォー・オールの中に生きているのか
It's so good, it's legit made me tear up. It's so dumb, I have no idea why. I just love this anime and I love the notion that they're living on inside of the quirk like this and that one day All Might won't just be gone, but instead will be here like this. I don't even know. This is just brilliant. Take 2 wins, man. It deserves it.
その思いに適した個性が俺の黒ムチ。お前、最初が俺でよかったさ。
It's so amazing that they linked this into the second movie, because when Nine tried to take his quirk, he said that he couldn't, and it was because he didn't have enough spaces, and that always intrigued me. Now we get the real reason. He's essentially got One for All as a base power-up, an insane power-up at that, and now all of these many quirks inside of him, feeding off of that power. Like, who thinks this up?
なんてことを
Now, as much as I dislike it, I feel like this is incredibly realistic. They're in this to win after all, and the match has not been called off. So this is exactly what they would do. I just wish they'd have given these two a quick damn minute, you feel me?
相沢君、何を? 第5試合、継続します。
Eraserhead trying to do his best for Shinzo, knowing how hard he's working to get to the hero course, and heck for everyone else as well who are trying hard, trying to win, trying to better themselves. Let's be real for a moment, Minato is a tough sell for the Class A hero course. However, giving him moments such as this on occasion certainly help us forget just how much of a tough sell he is, and that's good. This. Oh dear.
発動しない。ああ、もう、スカかよ。
He couldn't use his quirk! This is sick!
力に対する恐怖はもうなかった。この力は味方。
That's just sickeningly great. The anime should be ashamed of itself.
ツインインパクト。シンソウ君、先に捕まってごめんね。好きできたかな。
This role that he's taken on as the side character is really poignant to his personality, as he kind of laments his role while also having fully come to terms with it and is even happy with it to a degree. For likely one of the last times of this video, fantastic character building all the way around during these 11 episodes. It's been amazing to witness. Seeing the ladies using a wealth of prior combat experience to overcome the odds together.
ごいな。ヒーローか。
なんだか危険な場面もあったけど、第5試合ここまで。
This being the end of the battle. No, haha, one last thing I got that will trick you moment. Just overwhelming power and experience, and Midoriya simply being stronger. I like that.
ミドリヤ君の暴走に対してシンソウ君はもちろん、うららかさんの迅速な判断素晴らしかったわ。
Shinzo actually acted like a hero in that moment and should really be praised for it. He used his head and thought quickly on his feet to save an enemy at the same time during the battle.
ガッと抱きついたもんね。
考えなしに飛び出しちゃったので、もうちょい冷静にならんといかんでした。
かわいい。
俺は別に緑谷のためだけじゃないです。うららかに指示されて動いただけで。っていうか、俺の心は自分のことだけで精一杯です。
Eraserhead coming in to stop his train derailing, considering he did a good thing and was passing off his actions as coincidence and not thinking for himself, which obviously wasn't the case. It's more like he was self-sabotaging due to losing and having all of his hopes riding on winning. Then the end of this episode gets its own win, for the passing grade for Shinzo and him dedicating himself to pushing higher and higher. Just a wholesome ending, really. The start to episode 12, Shinzo getting some nice compliments from an honest as always Midoriya, learning that he's basically made it into the hero course, which is great news for him and he looks so happy. That was lovely to see. And then we're circling back around to the recently unveiled mystery of the quirk copying failure, and now Eri is brought back into it.
G 書けるようになってきたね。
お手紙書くの。
God, she's so cute!
じゃあ現状てめえが初ってことだな、ゴミ。
ゴミはダメよ。
All Might telling him not to call him scum is so All Might and I love him for it.
この力はもっと先にある力だ。そう、今扱える力じゃないと判断した。
What's great about all of this to me is that it's not like Midoriya just randomly unlocked all of these extra quirks and now the anime is handing him a godlike ability on a platter, but instead it's again locked away behind a wall of mystery. It seemingly disappeared. It was also too much to handle at the start. It's never simple, it's never microwaved to give him a boost right away, it's always dealt with intelligently and properly.
俺とおめえは違う強さがあんじゃねえのか。
These two getting to know each other more as they're so similar, and the fact that it looked like Class B are maybe in the same building with them now.
晩ご飯はビーフシチューだぞ。
やった B 組の人たち来てるんだ。
ああ。
I always talk about these kinds of moments during Black Clover and it's the same feeling here. I just love these wind down moments where we can see them chilling out, chatting and eating together in between the big moments. I've always adored that and I don't really know why. Not walking on the spot for a length of time that I just can't ignore, and if this win confuses you, it's basically awarded for animators actually animating characters physically walking, where most make it easier and just focus on a zoomed in shot or just bob them up and down to imitate walking. It's extra effort, essentially.
どうだ、モノマ。
スカですね。君も溜め込む系の個性なんだろ。僕は個性の性質そのものをコピーする。例えばファットガムは脂肪を溜め込むことが前提の個性。コピーしてもモノマ君は痩せたままだから。
Oh, it's so ridiculous that this much effort was put into this. That's so incredibly clever and well thought out that it makes my head hurt.
本日をもって貴様らの間抜け面ともお別れである。実にいい気分だ。準備はいいか、プランクトンども。
Two wins here. One, I totally forgot she was in this anime. That's it. And two, the fact that they're still showing this. It's not something just forgotten about, but Todoroki and Bakugo both failed, and they made that into a big character progressing deal. Such dedication to the story. Also, them freaking out about the snow and Ida warning everyone to be careful whilst Momo acts like a mum, and I just dig my heroes so much. That's so awesome, seeing these two immediately acting as heroes freely on their way back home.
お嬢さん、ダメだ。
All Might, man. Not sure I'll ever see another character in anime who means more to me. Seeing him leaping into action, still doing what he can as a hero means everything. Todoroki's new move!
すごいな、二人とも。
こんなに食えるか。
轟さん、
おめでとう。
かっちゃん、
これで一緒にヒーロー活動できるね。何上から目線で言ってんだこのクソナードが。
Everyone's saying congrats to them. That was very sweet, even if Bakugo did go off the handle as usual. Lovely seeing you a shot of the city during the day. Oh my word, such an epic start to episode 13, focusing in on this new villain, and it's making me feel even more like I was potentially spot on earlier, stating the first half is a setup for some darkness coming. This kind of stuff is what my wife loves the most, just school banter and that, and I enjoy it myself, so this one is for her.
避難が知った激励へと変化してきているんですよね。
ミロヤ君からみんなの見方がなんか変わってきたよね。ミロヤ
It's really nice to see the public opinion change, and primarily after both All Might vs All for One and then Endeavor vs Nomu. It really went from heavy criticism to adoration and encouragement, and that's just really great to witness since the end of Season 4, and it's also largely thanks to that lad.
今日行うはメディア演習。現役美霊注目株であるこの私。
The fact that she's still continuing to exist in this anime still continues to gain a win.
すごいご活躍でしたね、ショートさん。
何の話ですか？
なんか一仕事終えた体で。はい。
はい。
See, I feel like some people would see this and rate the season as a whole a silly 1 out of 10 on my anime list, but instead I look at it this way. This is, whether we like it or not, an important part of being a hero, and has been a factor since Season 1, where All Might gave numerous interviews all the time as a way of relaxing the public. It's important for the public to have confidence in heroes, and it drives down crime when they do and instills peace. It's not something they're doing for the sake of it, they're now qualified heroes able to work, and as such, this right here is a part of the job.
あなたみたいなイケメンが助けに来てくれたら私逆に心臓バクバクよ。
心臓悪いんですか？
やだ何この子。あなたの微笑みなんて見たら女性はイチコロよ。
俺が笑うと死ぬ。
もういいわ。
That's so brilliant. He's such a great voice actor with that line delivery, and of course she's cute as heck too.
ちょっと前までカメラ映りしか考えてなかったはずだぜあの女。
マウントレディだけじゃないよ。ヒーローたちみんな引っ張られてるんだ。ナンバーワンヒーローに。
Understanding that it was Endeavor's recent actions and current ones that are motivating the very top heroes to be at their best right now. That's a nice little tidbit.
よかった。よかったです。ご自身ではどのようにお考えでしょうか。よかった。
This will sound odd, but massive credit to his voice actor. He didn't have to belt out any lines or tear up or anything, but that sounded amazingly awkward. Like, that was great. Oh, okay then. You got me, I'll grant you that. Oh, okay, man. That was brilliant, but it does nicely play into what I mentioned before about absolutely nothing being rushed. How many other anime would simply say, I've been training this every day for 2 weeks, then suddenly he's mastered it? But nope, not the case here. Take that win.
突然インターン再開だなんて。
校長、椅子あるでしょう。
暖を取るにはここが最適解なのさ。
It would just be silly to ignore that, wouldn't it?
加山くんの言う通り、インターン再開自体が公安からのメッセージのように感じる。
This slow building tension is just brilliant, beautifully setting up something huge happening real soon, and I for one absolutely cannot wait. So is it just me, or does this feel awfully like the final calm and happiness before the storm? For now, your boy's just going to go ahead and absorb all of the feel-good vibes. I suggest you do the same.
学校で紹介してくれるって。
This scene furthering Bakugo's progression this season, plus some funny forced Christmas clothing wearing related shenanigans. That was really hard to say.
トリックオアトリート。
違う、混ざった。
Another win here for just a joy-filled series of events as they all eat and have fun together. A very funny moment as Eri ends up with a massive sword, and then the statement at the end indicating a dark event looming.
Midoriya, 爆豪。もし行く当てがねえなら、来るか、ナンバーワンヒーロー、エンデバーのインターン。
As soon as he started talking, I knew that was where this was going, and I'm freaking hyped for it. And what a perfect way to showcase the character building so far this season by placing them with Endeavor, you clever boys, you! One final win here for the video. I know a lot of people have hated on it. Personally, I found it exhilarating, well put together, and overall well worth the time watching. I must admit, I've read a great many of the complaints, and for me, I find them confusing. People are making out like single battles lasted 3 episodes, which just wasn't true. People said the recap was endless. The longest recap I measured was 4 minutes. That's quite long, but it was a one-off, and it included the 90-second OP, and people also said it was a waste of time, when it was jam-packed with so much character building and towards the end a progression of the overall story arc. I've said enough here now, so I'll wrap up quickly. You know all the links are in the description. Patrons are always wanted and needed, and thanks so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the second half. Nathan Bird, Bird Without a Word, Tyler Warner, PK Fan, Ali 50, Ryan Anderson, Isael Caldera, Mr. Waffle 64, Kieran Robinson, Chris Harris, Jonas Stahl, Manolo Saucedo Munoz, Kim Munt, Jason Davies, The Element Taylor Wars, Manuel Morales, Conito, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Blitzcloud, Sebastian Ramirez, Aura Keeper, Juffa 6263, Magnus, Kevin Nelter, Anarchy Curve, Brendan Krier, Kaj Vorzelman, Jordan Samuels, Sean Graves, The Epic Commander, Crimson Shadows, Kyle Farmer, Adora Blue, Matthew Bitsworth, Sentimento, Gaten 2000, Maki San, Storm 970, Hinakami and Water.